Introducing the partnership between Cubic's Galaxy Configurator and IGE+XAO's electrical 3D panel design for the true digital twin. Design and customize your modular switchboard in Cubic's latest Galaxy software. Import the Cubic design into IGE+XAO's 3D panel and combine your electrical design with the Cubic layout. Insert the electrical components defined in C Electrical, route the wiring, and produce the exact cutouts and drill templates for the job. Cubic Galaxy and 3D Panel Plus enable you to optimize your workflows with digital design and ordering through to production and manufacturing. Reduce errors with a true digital twin, the partnership between Cubic and IGE+XAO.
Hello and good morning, day, afternoon, good evening to all of you, wherever you are around. It's a pleasure to welcome all of you. Today we are more than 160 participants here in this short webinar today. Thank you very, very much for signing up and giving us the opportunity to share a little bit about the information we have to you about the cooperation between Cubic and IGE+XAO. The process here started a couple of years ago, where the initial talks were started with the IGE and Cubic about how we could implement our systems into each other's platforms. Within this integration, from our point of view and how we see it from our users' perspective as Cubic here, we believe that as a user you become and you will have an easier and a bigger overview of your project when designing a switchboard. We also believe that you will be able to minimize the risk and for mistakes and misunderstandings. A final documentation is also going to be available with these two tools. A complete list of components, terminals, wires, and everything throughout these two platforms will be available. And as well as a large number of different file formats is available as an export for that can be used for preparements and cutting and for parts of our two systems. And with those words from me, I would like to hand over the word to Michael. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Thomas, and thank you for the introduction and presentation of this webinar. And from my side as well, good morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It's a pleasure to have you in this session. Short introduction of myself. I'm Michael Mahler. I'm the manager for the IGE+XAO business in North Europe, and has been a part of this journey together with Thomas and all the other friends from Cubic from the start of this interesting journey. We have, of course, in this seminar a little technical presentation where you can see more of what is actually going on between the Cubic Galaxy software and the C Electrical 3D Panel Plus. But before we start this short presentation, I would like to add a few words, because you can ask, why is this more interesting than a lot of other things, integrations between different kind of software? What is the added value to the end user which is you. I think I would start to put it like this. Everybody's talking about a digital twin today. I think this is the buzzword. You can go on any LinkedIn post or any electrical magazine or mechanical magazine, and everybody's talking about a digital twin. From our perspective, the main problem with a lot of digital twins are that within inside one project, there are a lot of different digital twins. And the idea with a digital twin is that it's a digital twin, which means not in plural. So if we're having 2 or 3 digital twins representing the same elements in the same project, the whole idea of the digital twin disappears. The idea with the digital twin is that we have one digital twin, the same elements that we are working from the start of the project to the end of the project. And this is where this partnership becomes really, really interesting, because now you can start in the early design phase in Cubic Galaxy, designing your cabinet. At the same time, in C Electrical, you can start the design of your switchboard. I'm not talking about the cabinet now, but the design of the switchboard. And you can merge these two together in the 3D Panel Plus, which means that the data you start in one system can be not even reused, but continue inside the project. We don't redraw anything. We don't redo anything. It's the same data. We continue working from the design phase and the two parts of the design of a switchboard to the end, where we can production of the switchboards itself. And that is, from our perspective, what's make this partnership really, really interesting, because Cubic Galaxy is part of the entire design of the switchboard, the cabinet, the same as the electrical, the same as the electrical 3D Panel Plus, the same as the shop floor when we are going to design the cabinet, or sorry, build a cabinet in the shop floor. All the data flows from the start to the end with no redesign, no redo. It's just reuse, in a sort of saying. And that's where your benefit with this partnership really shows its value, and now working with a digital twin and not several. And I think with these words, I think we should start the technical presentation, Thomas.
Yes, we will. I'll just put on the short video here, so lean back. I'll make a short break in between the split between our from Cubic's presentation and then Michael's presentation, where maybe I'll add a one or two, maybe a few comments, and then I'll continue the video to Michael's part, and he will comment in the end of that. So lean back and enjoy. Designing switchboards in the Galaxy program is done in our design part of the program, where we are working in 5 main groups with menus in each group with items we can insert. We can start by inserting a frame, 10 by 11 by 3, with a plinth. In all these menus, we can always choose a lot of additional items that can be used if necessary. Inserting is done by clicking, and thereby we have inserted now a group of items that can be seen in the item with pictures and descriptions. I can divide up my switchboards in columns with barriers, quick and easy, like this. I continue my design throughout the menus, inserting busbar systems, inserts, and so on throughout the design. During the design, you're always able to edit and change the configuration of one of your inserted items. You can change a size and other specifications for each individual item in your design. We finished the design by adding some coloring onto the switchboard, and the design is finished. And I can save. And when saved, I open the opportunity to create an export file for 3D or for C electrical. I simply just press the button and the file will be generated and saved in a predefined folder. This is the spot where I was supposed to make a break, and I think most of you know how annoying it is to hear yourself speak, but and I also see there were a few places in the video where the software looked like it was doing a little bit of magic, but actually it was just we just skipped a little bit of part of the design phase, and where we put in all the insert parts, and also the covers were put in one click, and that's not how it goes on. But the software is extremely user-friendly, I believe, and easy. You could go in and change and edit all the parts step by step, and change the looks and export it to 3D and so on. At any time, I'll be more than pleased to go more into depth with you. It's just give me a ring, and then we'll take it from there. I think that if it's okay with you, Michael, I'll let the video run, and then stop it after the video is done from your part. Okay?
Perfect, thanks.
Perfect.
A panel designed in Cubic Galaxy software can be imported in C Electrical 3D via this button here. Simply locate the output file from Galaxy and press open. Then wait. Once loaded, a fully intelligent enclosure has been loaded into the C Electrical drawing. Looking into the Explorer, you see the entire structure of the entire closure here, with all the elements in here. The reason that this went well is that prior to the import, Cubic has created and implemented an enormous amount of symbols into the symbol library that is actually used during the import. This allows us to design each symbol, each element, each part the way we want, with all the block planes, with all the machinings, whatever is necessary for us to continue the design, adding all the electrical components and wiring. Next step is to design or lay out your cabinet the way you want it by inserting all the necessary route paths, gene rails, and cable ducts necessary for this design. And as all the elements already are intelligent, like rails are rails, we can easily start manipulating those via the Explorer here and say show all, for instance, hide all, except selected. And perhaps add a cable duct on the rear side here. When all cable ducts and route paths and perhaps additional gene rails have been inserted, it's time to add the electrical components from the external source. Simply locate the workspace and load it. Then insert all the components as desired, and then you're ready for wire routing. The final thing to do before focusing on output is routing all the wires. Simply right-click in the wires pane or nets pane and select route all nets. Once this is done, take a quick check to see how it looks. Simply hide all the panel doors and see all the wires being routed in here. Now focusing on outputs. As we can see here, this panel door here has some push buttons inserted. It's possible now to take this door and generate any kind of drill hole output necessary depending on the equipment you have. Like so, for instance. Wires 2. Take it to the wires mode, right click and export for machining. Give it a name. The last thing to do is focus on the documentation part using the report designer and the documentation designer within 3D Panel Plus.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Thomas. A few comments from my side to this is what I talked about before the video was that we have a digital twin working from the start of the design to the end of the production. And you can, in a sort of saying that what we saw here could be done in any kind of program. But the cool thing with this is that when we design, or not even design, when we configure, because please remember that Cubic Galaxy is a configurator. When the cabinet is configured in Cubic Galaxy, it is intelligent in Cubic Galaxy, so you can order all the parts. When this is transferred to C-Electrical 3D Panel Plus, it is intelligent in C-Electrical 3D as well, which means that a DIN rail is a DIN rail, a backplate is a backplate. So we don't need to add any additional intelligence to be able to work within this cabinet already. Whereas if we have worked with any other kind of design tool, something would have had to be redone. Intelligent needed to be added to the cabinet, or in either the design of the cabinet, or in design of the switchboard when we insert the components. With this cool integration, everything is done once and being reused later on in the process. Of course, as we also saw from the Galaxy video, we don't show all the details because inserting one component is the same as inserting 20 components. So of course we have got some of the things behind the scene, if we can put it like this. And the last thing to add is that in this video you saw, of course, the data coming, with the component, the wire information coming from C-Electrical, but actually this information could also come from other ECAD softwares as well. And when that is said, I think I would leave the chat for questions, and we will be here to answer. So please type your question or your comment or anything in the chat, and we will have a look. And I can already see there's already one. And this is from Sven, and yes, Sven, this is correct. Actually, not to be very technical, but still answering the question, what is actually being done here is that we are not transferring a 3D model from Galaxy to C-Electrical 3D. Actually, the different cubic symbols are created with inside C electrical, which means that it's actually just an XML file transferred from Galaxy to C electrical. And what is actually happening, this XML file is an IKEA assembly manual. And what we actually do is just we put the components together according to the manual coming from Galaxy, because all the components, all the different items are already created inside the electrical 3D panel with intelligence. So correct understood, Sven. It seems like more question from Henrik. Can one draw the cubic against and then I can work in C electrical without having Galaxy on my PC? Yes, this is correct. You can
Yes,
have
if you have the panel file from Galaxy, you can import it.
So it can be a partnership. Let's have an example. You are an OEM working with a panel builder. You are, of course, you want to design the panel, but of course the panel builder is designing the framework, the metal, if you can put it like this, in Cubic Galaxy. Then you can work together, not needing to having each other's software in the sorts of saying. It could also be a panel builder where you have one designing the cubic cabinet, one placing in all the components. Two different softwares, two different computer. It's just a file exchange between Galaxy and C electrical. You're welcome, Sven. I can see Mohammed is typing in a question. And if a question is asked and the answer is not fulfilling, please let us know, and we will tell more. You're very welcome, Henrik. I think the question from Mohammed is you are the right one to answer this, Thomas.
Yes, you could because you are able to in the software generates a part list depending on what you're designing. We have also got our complete item catalog within the Galaxy, so where you're also able to create additional items within a design. So you could type in a number and then create create a purchase based on that. So yes, you would be able to do that. Yes.
Okay, and then one more question. Please tell whether this software is paid or free. I will let you answer first, Thomas, for Galaxy, and then I can answer for C electrical 3D.
Yes, we have a fee for the Galaxy software, which is a one-off by a company license, meaning you buy one license for one company, and there are no additional fees along the way for updates and everything. So it's a one-off fee for the company, no matter how many users you are.
And I can answer as well for C electrical. It is not a free software. Unfortunately, that would be great to offer, but we are a software company. So, actually, you have two possibilities within IGE+XAO. It's a perpetual license where you actually buy the software, or it's also possible to use the more commonly used today a SaaS solution, where you pay as you go, like from a lot of other kind of softwares today. You pay one amount and then you are able to use within a certain period of time. And of course, this is a much cheaper solution from a startup cost point of view. But there is a cost, and I don't think this is the right meeting to talk about prices. So if there's any price questions, of course, please feel free to contact us after the meeting.
And we have a question from Ferdinand. Hi, Ferdinand. SolidWorks is a 3D configuration tool that can work with step files, and we can make a step file directly from the Galaxy. So yes, the Galaxy file can be moderated in SolidWorks. Yes.
We also have a question from an Weimer. Is it possible to have some cabinets going outside the panel? I am not sure I understand this question. Cables going outside of the panel. Sorry. Yes, it is as well. And now, of course, we're talking with inside C Electrical 3D Panel Plus. If you want, and this is possible, and is being used like this for some customers already, you can do more than just the panel itself. You can easily design the panel in Galaxy, transfer to C Electrical 3D Panel Plus, design the entire cabinet with components, wires, and cables as well. Also visualizing the cable going outside of the cabinet to a motor or whatever is located outside the cabinet. This is possible as well.
We have Christian Hunt. Unfortunately, no, we don't have retail items within our Cubic software. Haji, you're asking if you need the license for the Galaxy to be able to use it in the C Electrical. Well, not necessary. If you have a panel file from the Galaxy, from a panel builder or whoever, then you can import that. If you want to design your own panels in the Galaxy, then a long time you would need a license. We could talk about giving you an opportunity to see it. But initially, no, then you don't need the Galaxy license to use it in C Electrical.
We also have Mark Evans. What would happen if the panel design had to alter due to the customer changing the requirements? I assume this question is in relation to if the cabinet is already being designed. For instance, we could take the worst case scenario. The design is made in Galaxy, transferred to C Electrical, and the design is starting in C Electrical 3D, placing component, and the customer have, of course, some changes. What will happen? There are several solutions to this issue. From a technical aspect, I don't think we should go through all of them, but since all the different elements from from Cubic are already inside the C Electrical 3D, if it's small changes, it could easily be done with inside C Electrical 3D. If it's major changes, it could be done in Galaxy as well. And then actually we have some tools where you can import the new design and move the things from the previous design to the new design. There are easy ways to handle this, so you don't need to redo everything, of course.
There's a question about if there are any modifications to be done to a PC or laptop. No, the Galaxy is a software that you install through a file on your PC. The Galaxy is able to communicate with our servers here to update items and software packages. So to do that, we have to ensure that all the SQL server packages are on the computer, and that's something that the installation part of the Galaxy does. So no modifications.
And one more question for Galaxy as well, for Estefan.
That's Ferdinand. Yes. You can still do the temperature rise calculations within the Galaxy software, Ferdinand, no problem.
And Mohammed, do we have a solution in Cubic? I think that was for you as well, Thomas.
Well, no. Generally, what we have in Galaxy is now the Galaxy package is a tool to design, project, and purchase Galaxy items and Galaxy parts. That's why we have decided to have only Galaxy or Cubic parts in there.
I could add, of course, this partnership is, of course, being able to transfer intelligent items from Galaxy to C Electrical 3D Panel Plus. Of course, if you want to add something that has nothing to do with Cubic, of course, you could design these things in C electrical, but integrate that with cubic design. Of course, you can do some manual work, and this is possible in C electrical 3D panel. Of course, there it's possible to design anything. It's a 3D system. You can design your own symbols, your own components. But of course, with the intelligence link between Galaxy and C electrical, what has been made in Galaxy transferred to C electrical. If you combine this with something own manufactured, own designed, of course, there would be some issues to handle. But of course, in C electrical 3D panel plus, which is a 3D system where you can do any design in 3D, you could alter, modify, or add anything you want. But then it will not be, of course, linked with Galaxy, clearly. Okay, please, yeah, let's have questions, comments. So far, thank you for the questions and comments so far.
Thank you very much for being here. Now, after the webinar is ended, it is going to be sent to you by email, so you can watch it again and again and share it. Thank you very much for participating.
And please remember, if any questions technically or whatever, please reach out to either Cubic or IGE+XAO, and we'll take care of your questions, comments, or whatever. And thank you also from our side for participating in the webinar, and wishing you a wonderful day.
Thank you, Michael. I'm looking forward to do more webinars with you.
See you, my friend. Have a good day, everybody.
Okay. Thank you very much.
See you.
Bye.